Hello everyone, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name's Deshaun, and today I'm here to give you another D23 Marvel announcement video. I am here, I already talked about Moon Knight, I already talked about Ms. Marvel, so I gotta talk about the third one. I saved the best for last, the one that's the most interesting to me personally, She-Hulk. Now, She-Hulk is an interesting character that honest to God, I will say, the other two, okay. I mean, Miss Marvel, inspired by Captain Marvel, and she's got, and her name's, kind of different because it's a Miss Marvel. It's, it's a bit different. Moon Knight, new character, not a lot of people have heard of, other than the hardcore Marvel fans like myself. But all right, She-Hulk. Now, this is one of those times where I get conflicted because there are characters and story beats that I'm just like, I don't think that's gonna work in a movie. You know what I mean? There's characters and story beats that I don't think that's gonna work. And I suppose in a world where Supergirl works, which is a derivative on Superman, She-Hulk should be able to work. It's just the She-Hulk name. It's just always been like, oh man, I don't know how that's going to go over. I don't know how the name's going to go over. I don't know how many people are going to deal with it, It's already getting fucking controversy because there's idiots on Twitter and shit when it was announced that were like, why does Marvel got to turn Hulk into a woman? Yes, there are actual idiots out there who think that Marvel are turning Hulk into a woman. Why do they got to keep doing this? Well, they're just creating characters now. She-Hulk was created in the early 70s. She-Hulk is almost over 50 years old. She's been around for a very long time. She's held down countless titles, some that I loved. I can't remember one. You know why I'm so hyped for this one? Because this is the one announcement of something that I've actually read an individual comic book, because I've seen Miss Marvel in the Champions and stuff. I've seen Miss Marvel. Last time I saw Miss Marvel, she was dating Miles Morales in the comics. I've seen Moon Knight, but I've never seen him in a comic by himself. I've just seen him show up in other people's comics. I've read some She-Hulk comics. Jennifer Walters is an interesting woman. First of all, I don't know, this isn't going to be a big part of her character in the MCU, but in the comic book, she's a massive sex symbol. And to me, she's an important character because she does one of the most important things that I've ever thought of, and it's the fact that she has many partners, has many lovers and many partners, and it's free, and it's not in a gossipy how let me say, like someone like Mystique has been in like many relationships, or someone like Black Canary has been with Batman, has technically hooked up with it's nothing glamorous. Like, she's just hooked up with a lot of other heroes, and she bangs models, male models, and she does this, and she has this persona about her. But the crazy, interesting thing about her is that her version of the Hulk problems is totally different. First of all, for a grand majority of the time, she stays in Hulk form because she has total control over it, like Bruce does in Endgame. In Endgame, she was the first to really have total control of it. So I like to think that they got a little bit of inspiration from She-Hulk when they were doing Bruce Banner. But the thing that makes her interesting is she's a lawyer. She's a defense attorney. She's a defense attorney. And the cool thing about her is when she does lawyer shit, she's in full She-Hulk. So you just walk into a courtroom and there's this 8-foot tall, jacked, goddess, beautiful woman defending the other guy. And she has and since she's in Hulk form, when she's in Hulk form, her testosterone and all these different things are amped up to the nth degree. So she's a flirt, man. If she's interested in you, she's gonna let you know she's interested in you. Just ask Wolverine. If she's down for if she's interested in you, you'll know. And and I just love it. But there's this awesome thing, well, at least in the comic book I read, there was this awesome story where it kind of became apparent throughout the course of the book that Jennifer Walters is the reason that she stays in She-Hulk form is because she not that she's ashamed of of normal Jen, as people call her, Jen, aka Jennifer. She's not that she's just ashamed of normal Jennifer. It's the fact that she's just well, this is better than me. This is me 2.0. And she doesn't know how to be herself anymore because of She-Hulk. And I see a beautiful story about being yourself, about accepting yourself, about, you know, accepting all parts of yourself, because in the comic, that's what happens, you know? She stays in She-Hulk form. She's banging all these different guys. Like, literally, like, the first panel of the comic, and like I said, I'm basing all my excitement off this one comic that I read about her. And I've seen her in various other things too, obviously. But my excitement about this one comic is really amped it up. But I remember the first comic book panel, you see her in normal human form next to this, like, you know, just, you know, jacked up model, this supermodel. And she wakes up and she immediately goes, oh God, he's going to wake up and realize and think he went to bed with this version of me, and gonna be so angry when he just sees this version of me. So she turns back into She-Hulk. And I thought that was a very interesting story arc to go down, you know, an interesting path to go down. And of course, there was those things about like how one time she slept with Tony Stark, and literally she turns and looks at Tony and says, I don't get it, Tony. You can sleep with as many people as you want, and everyone just calls you a player, and everyone just kind of goes all sitcom, just like, oh, that's Tony. I sleep with a couple guys, and I'm a slut. And like I said, Jennifer has a sense of humor first, and if you want to be real, she was the first character. She broke the fourth wall. She was one of the first characters to ever break the fourth wall. There's an amazing comic book panel that you should look up. One of her first solo books got kind of canceled, and on the cover, she said in the little bubbles, if this gets canceled, I'm going to burn your X-Men. If my book gets canceled, I'm going to burn your X-Men edition 1. That's what she said in the comic. And then when the book eventually got kind of canceled, but then she got a new book because she's a very popular character. Eventually, she got a new book. And on that cover, she said, I told you, as she held a X-Men issue 1 comic book. She breaks the fourth wall all the time. She mentions her editor, but she breaks the fourth wall in a cool, like a slapstick kind of way. Like Deadpool breaks the fourth wall in a like, booyah, bitch, like in a like a middle, like a booyah, bitch, like middle finger. She does it in like a subtle, just kind of like slapsticky humor. Like there's a comic book panel where if you've ever read like a big issue of a comic book, like a Civil War or something like that, or a Crisis, you know that there's a lot of things happening at the same time. And a lot of times, like, the pages, like, try to, like, allude that all these things are happening at the same exact time. So when you're reading one panel and, like, it'll leave and go to another place, and then it'll come back to that panel at the exact same time to continue what they were showing. They do it in movies and stuff all the time. Well, there was this hilarious one where they did it in a book similar to that, and it cut back to Jen while she was fighting her bad guy. And they were like having a coffee break, and then they were like, "Oh shit, the camera's back! All right, let's get back to fighting each other." It's hilarious. Like she broke the fourth wall before anyone else, before any other character broke the fourth wall. She's an amazing character. She has this amazing wit to her. She's got this tomboy-like attitude to her. She's sexy as shit. And I know it's a comic book character, but she's just got this thing about her, man. And I love the lawyer aspect of it too. The whole lawyer aspect of it. And her and Matt Murdock are really the go-to guy. The go-to guys for when a superhero's in some shit. You know, her and Matt Murdock are pretty much the go-tos. I like the fact that Marvel's two lawyers. I like two of their bigger characters, so that's kind of cool. But right now, Marvel can't use Daredevil for a while, so it'll be good to get a character with like a different background in there, a character who's a lawyer. Now, it'll be interesting to see. Now, it's all been confirmed that Mark Ruffalo will be in this show. He will show up for an episode or two, at least to introduce the audience to her. But it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see what they make her look like. I can't wait to see what kind of outfit they settle on, because Jen doesn't really wear tons of, because Jen doesn't really wear tons of clothes, because she's this massive woman. And I'm curious to see what they settle on. I'm curious to see who they cast, because you have to do that dichotomy very well. You have to cast a woman who is the exact opposite of She-Hulk, in my opinion. You have to cast a woman who's like kind of like meek, and she's got this attitude to her. You got I'm trying to think. Oh man, you gotta cast a woman like who's got this attitude to her, but she's like this, but she's a tiny girl, but she's a smaller girl. She's kind of meek, and then she can only be herself when she's in She-Hulk. So you can believe that this woman can only be herself when she's in She-Hulk form. So I think that's a very important thing. I'm excited for this She-Hulk show. It's why it went on the longest of any of the videos I've done so far. I can't wait for it, man. I can't wait for it. CGI's come a long way. Oh, it's gonna look so good. Thank you for joining me on the Comic Gear Movie Show. Please remember to like and subscribe. And are you excited for the She-Hulk show? You're probably not. If you are excited for the She-Hulk show, you damn sure ain't as excited for it as I am. Thank you for joining me on the Comic Gear Movie Show. Please remember to like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.